students. Today we are going to study the third chapter of geography, that is motions of the earth. Students, already you had studied in your previous channel about the different motions of the earth. You know that our earth is having the two types of motion, rotation and revolution. Now what is rotation? Rotation is the movement of the earth on its axis. Now you know that when the earth rotates on its own axis, so this movement is known as the rotation. Then the next type of movement is revolution. The movement of the earth around the sun in a fixed path or orbit is called revolution. Now you know that sun is there and the earth it moves around the sun on a fixed path is called the revolution. This is the fixed path. This fixed path is also called as the orbit. It is also called as orbit. And you know that this movement of the earth around the sun in a fixed path or orbit is called rotation. Next is orbital plane. Now what is this orbital plane? This is a new concept for you. So the axis of the earth, which is an imaginary line, makes an angle 66 half degree with its orbital plane. Now this is the axis and it is making this angle, it is the 66 and half degree, and it is called its orbital plane. This is called its orbital plane. The plane formed by the orbit is known as orbital plane. Now the plane which is formed by this orbit, it is called as the orbital plane. Now the earth, you know students that earth receives light from the sun, and due to the spherical shape of the earth, only half of the portion of the earth gets its light from the sun at a time. So at the same time, the whole part of the earth is not receiving the sunlight. Okay, the part of the earth which is facing towards the sun, only that part is getting the light, other is dark. Now you know that students, the circle that divides the day from night on the globe is called circle of illumination. Now next important thing which we are going to study, that is the circle of illumination. Now what is the circle of illumination? That we are going to study. Now see that the circle that divides the day from night on the globe. Now the circle that divides the day from night on the globe is called circle of illumination. So this is the circle of illumination is formed here. Now you can see here also, this is also called the circle of illumination. This type of means day and night are different here, and this is showing the circle of illumination. The circle does not coincide with the axis, and it does not coincide with the axis. Coincide means it is not the same. This circle, it is not exactly with this axis. It is not with the parallel with this axis. Okay. And the earth takes about 24 hours to complete one rotation around its axis. Now students, you know that our earth, it takes 24 hours to complete its rotation. The period of rotation is known as earth day, and these 24 hours which earth takes to complete one rotation, it is called as one earth day. It is called as the one earth day, that is 24 hours. Now this is the daily motion of the earth, and this motion, it is the daily motion of the earth, that earth is moving on its own axis, that is a rotation. Now students, can you imagine that what would have happened if the earth did not rotate? Yes, the portion of the earth, if the earth will not rotate, so we will having the day and night? No. Now the portion of the earth facing the sun would always experience day, thus bringing continuous warmth to the region. So the portion of the earth which is facing towards the sun, it is having the warmth of the sun. Warmth means the heatness of the sun. The other half would have remained the darkness and being freezing cold all the time. If suppose only this much part of the earth, this half part of the earth is getting the sunlight, so it will become very hot, and this part which is not receiving the sunlight, it will become very freezed. It will become freezed only, means पूरा बर्फ जम जाएगा. Okay, then the other half would remain in the darkness and be freezing cold all the time, and the life would not have been possible in such extreme conditions. Now students, the place where there is no sunlight, if it is completely freezed, so their life will not be possible. It will be extreme conditions for the life to be stable over there in this condition, frozen condition. Now the next thing, that the movement of the earth around the sun on its orbit is called the revolution, and you know that the earth takes 365 days to complete its one revolution, and we consider a year as consisting of 365 days only and ignore the 6 hours for the sake of convenience. Means now here I will explain you about this. The next, that is the leap year beta. Now students, the leap year, that you know that our earth takes 365 and 1/4 days to complete one revolution, but we consider only 365 days in 1 year. So that remaining 1/4 day, that 1/4 day, it is the 6 hour, it is added for 4 years. So it will be added as a one extra day in the month of February after every 4 years. It will be added in the month of February after every 4 years. So February is having 29 days in the leap year instead of 28 days. Okay, and in the leap year we will having the 366 days in a leap year. Okay, and the next thing, that suppose this year 2020, it is a leap year. So which would be the next leap year? Just think students. Yes, after 4 years, means that will be 2024. Okay, now next thing which we are going to study in this, that is the, you know that students, the our earth is taking the round around the sun. Okay, and it is elliptical orbit. It is in the elliptical orbit. Elliptical orbit means this orbit which is in oval shape. It is the elliptical orbit. Okay, now if you just see this, that this figure is showing us about the different positions of the earth which is taking round from around the movement of the earth around the sun. Now you can see here students, in this picture, that here summer solstice is given to us, then winter solstice is given to us, and equinox is given to us. Now students, about the solstices and equinoxes you had already studied in your 5th standard. Again we will revise this topic. Now the northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun and the rays of the sun fall directly on it. So directly on the tropic of Cancer, and as a result these areas receives more heat. So this portion is receiving the more amount of heat, and the areas near the poles, they are receiving the less heat. Okay, are you getting my point? That the areas which is in the tropic of Cancer part, that are receiving the more heat, and towards the poles it is receiving the less heat. So the areas near the poles receives less heat as the rays of the sun are slanting. The rays of the sun are slanting. It is not going there directly. Directly it is receiving by the tropic of Cancer only. Okay. So these places, the poles, they are getting the slanting rays of the sun. So these places are having the different things. That means that they are beyond the Arctic Circle, so they experience continuously daylight for about 6 months. And a large portion of the northern hemisphere is getting light from the sun. It is summer in this region, of the north of the equator. So here is the summer in northern part of the equator. And the longest day and the shortest night at these places occurs on 21st June. So 21st June is the longest day and the shortest night of the whole year. And at this time the southern hemisphere, so this part, the southern hemisphere, it will all of these conditions are reverse, means whatever we had studied about this northern hemisphere, opposite of it will be in the southern hemisphere. It is winter season. Now here is the summer and here is the winter, so opposite of it, it will be there. And the nights are longer than the days, and this position of the earth is called as the summer solstice. It is known as the summer solstice. Now next thing, that on 22nd December, on the 22nd December, the Tropic of Capricorn receives direct rays of the sun. Now here the Tropic of Capricorn is getting the direct rays of the sun, as the south pole tilts towards it, and because the south pole, it is tilted towards it. It is tilted towards it. So as the sun rays falls vertically at the Tropic of Capricorn, a large portion of southern hemisphere gets light. Now this portion of the southern hemisphere is getting the sunlight, and the opposite of it, it will be happen in the northern hemisphere. So now this portion, the reverse will happen in the northern hemisphere. So this position of the earth is called as the winter solstice. This position is known as the winter solstice. Now do you know, students, that when winter is here in our country, at that time Australia is having the summer and they celebrate Christmas at that time. So do you know that in the Australia they celebrate Christmas in the summer season? We celebrate Christmas in the winter season, and at that time they were having the summer over there. Now the next part, that is the equinox, we will study. Now equinox, what is the meaning of equinox, that we will see. Equinox means that the position of the earth is getting the sunlight directly over the equator. At that time the sun rays directly falls on the equator, and that's why it is having the equal day and night all over the earth at that time. On 21st March and 23rd September these things happens. So on 21st March and 23rd September we are having the equinox. Now equinox means equal day and night on the whole earth. So on 23rd September it is autumn equinox and in the northern hemisphere, and spring equinox in the southern hemisphere. And the opposite of this, it will be in the on the 21st March, means the opposite will happen on the 21st March, that is vice versa, that when it is spring in the northern hemisphere and autumn in the southern hemisphere. Now you can see that different seasons we are having during this movement or during this rotation of the earth, revolution of the earth. We are having summer, spring, autumn and winter. Now here you can see more clearly, students, that we are having on 21st June we are having summer solstice. On 23rd September we are having equinox, spring equinox or autumnal equinox, and on 22nd December we are having the winter solstice. On 21st March we are having the spring equinox. Okay students, I hope you had understood these things, that this equinox and solstice, what are that. Okay, and thus we find that there are days and nights and changes in the seasons because of the rotation and revolution of the earth respectively. Due to this rotation and revolution of the earth, we were having the different seasons and day and night. So rotation of the earth leads to the day and night, and revolution of the earth leads to the different seasons. I hope students you had understood it. Thank you.